AI is here, and it's changing everything about how we work. But this is the important part. It's not the story you think it is. This isn't about humans getting replaced by machines. Nope. It's about a brand new kind of partnership. Think of it like this. You're the pilot, and AI, that's your co-pilot. All right, let's get into what that really means.
So, let's talk about AI. Hype versus reality. When you hear AI in the workplace, what's the first thing that pops into your head? For a lot of us, it's this weird mix of, wow, this is amazing, and oh no, are the robots coming for my job? And you know what? The headlines don't help. So, before we get into the cool stuff, let's get real for a second and look at some of the spectacular fails.
Okay, first up, an author thought, hey, I'll use AI to whip up a great summer reading list. Sounds smart, right? Well, the AI did create a list, and it sounded super confident. The only problem? It recommended books that literally did not exist. It just hallucinated them. So yeah, not exactly the expert book reviewer you were hoping for.
And then there's this gem. You've probably seen this one. McDonald's decided to test out an AI drive-thru. What could go wrong? Well, pretty much everything. It was pure chaos. There's this one video that went viral where you can hear people just pleading with the AI to stop adding chicken McNuggets to their order. I think it got up to like 260 nuggets. Needless to say, they shut that experiment down fast. Okay, but it's not all fun and games. Sometimes these mistakes have real consequences. New York City launched this official AI chatbot to help small business owners. Great idea, right? Except it started telling people to break the law. Yeah, giving them advice that was straight up illegal. It's a pretty stark reminder that the stakes can be high. And speaking of high stakes, Air Canada found out the hard way. Their chatbot gave a customer some very wrong information about bereavement fares after his grandmother died. He did exactly what the AI told him to do, but the airline wouldn't honor it. The whole thing ended up in court, and a tribunal actually ordered Air Canada to pay up for the chatbot's mistake. But this next one might be the most worrying: bias. A company got into hot water and had to settle a lawsuit over their AI hiring tool. Why? Because it was specifically programmed to reject anyone over a certain age. And this is the crucial part. The AI didn't just come up with this on its own. It learned this bias from the humans who trained it. So you see all these headlines, right? Fake books, nugget jetting, illegal advice. And it's totally fair to ask, is this AI stuff more trouble than it's worth? Is it just too glitchy and risky? I get it, it's easy to be skeptical. But that's not the whole story. There's another way to look at this. And this quote from Volkswagen Financial Services really nails it. They say their approach is clear. AI supports people, it does not replace them. Boom. That changes everything, doesn't it? It's not about letting the machine take over. It's about building a system where the AI helps out, but the human is always in the driver's seat. So how do we actually do that? Well, it all comes down to this really important idea called the human in the loop. I know, it sounds kind of techy, like some industry buzzword, but it's actually a super simple and really powerful concept. It's the secret sauce that keeps us in control while letting the AI do what it's best. So check this out. It's basically a cycle, a loop. The AI makes something, the human checks it, and then the AI learns from what the human did. It's this constant back and forth that makes the whole thing work. It's not a one-way street, it's a real partnership. Let's break it down into 3 simple steps. Step 1, the AI generates something. A first draft, a quick summary, whatever. Step 2, and this is the most important part. You, the human, review it. You look it over, you say, yep, that's good, or nope, that's wrong, or let me just tweak this sentence. You add that special sauce, that context that only a person can have. And then step 3, the AI learns from what you did. So every time you correct it, you're actually training it to be a better assistant for you. Okay, that makes sense, right? But it brings up a big question. What exactly should we be handing off to our AI co-pilot? And what should we definitely keep for ourselves? The good news is it's not a black and white, all or nothing kind of deal. Probably the easiest way to think about this is like a spectrum or a sliding scale. On one end, you have stuff that's super easy to automate. On the other end, you have things that, honestly, you should never automate. And then there's a whole lot of stuff in the middle. Let's put some real examples to this. So in the highly automatable bucket, think about summarizing a huge report or banging out a first draft of a basic email. Now, in the middle, partially automatable. That's where the AI gives you a head start, but you need to come in and add your human touch, like refining the tone of a really important message.
And then over on the not suitable for automation side, this is the human-only zone. We're talking about making the final call on a big decision, showing empathy to a customer, or building trust with your team. No AI can do that.
So what this really means is that for almost any task, the work can be split between you and the AI. It's not just a binary choice of AI does it or I do it. Instead, a better way to think about it is, what percentage of this task can my copilot handle for me?
Let's look at some real-world examples. Say you need to draft a simple project update email. That's a perfect job for AI. Let it do 90% of the work, and you just spend a few minutes giving it a final polish. Now, what about analyzing sales data? That's more of a 50-50 split. The AI can do all the heavy lifting, crunching the numbers, but you are the one who finds the story in that data. And mentoring a new team member? Come on, that's got to be like 95% human.
Okay, but we have to be honest here. Any tool this powerful comes with some serious risks. And that human-in-the-loop thing we've been talking about, it's not just to make things run smoother. It's about taking responsibility. Generally, there are 4 big risks you always have to keep in the back of your mind: accuracy, bias, confidentiality, and just plain over-reliance. Let's dig into a couple of the really big ones. First up is accuracy. Remember that fake book list? That's a perfect example. AI can and will just make stuff up sometimes. That's why at the end of the day, you are accountable. You're the one hitting send. You have to be the final fact checker. Period. And the second big one is bias. Remember that hiring tool that discriminated against older applicants? The AI just learns from the data we feed it. So if our data has biases in it, well, the AI is going to learn those biases and maybe even make them worse. So your job, as the human pilot, is to be the ethical backstop. You have to be the one to catch that stuff and make sure things are fair. Okay, we've talked a lot about what AI can do and the risks involved, but it's so easy to forget about what it can't do. So let's wrap up by focusing on the most important part of this equation, you, and the incredible human skills that are now more valuable than ever before. Forbes put together a great list of what they call the essential human skills for the AI age. Things like discernment, the ability to see what's really important, empathy, actually connecting with another person, creativity, adaptability, and good old-fashioned judgment. You can't program these things into a machine. In today's world, these are your superpowers. So, what's the big takeaway from all this? It's simple, really. The new equation for amazing work isn't human versus machine. It's human plus machine. Human plus AI. That's how we get better, faster, and just do more meaningful work, all while keeping people right where they belong, at the center of it all. Look, at the end of the day, AI is a tool. It's a really, really powerful tool, but it's still just a tool. Think of it like the spreadsheet was decades ago. It has risks, for sure, but the potential is just massive. The future isn't just going to happen to us. We get to build it. So the real question you have to ask yourself isn't if AI is going to change your job, it's how are you going to choose to use it?